Hey there friends, welcome back to Your Life Rocks, the place for tips and inspiration for working Christian moms. And today we're talking all about how to save money, how to save time doing your weekly meal planning. It's something that we should be doing every single week. And when we don't, if you're like me, the weeks that I don't, I'm like, oh my gosh, so much stress. But when I'm planning my meals for the entire week ahead, not only is that a lot less stress because we know exactly what we're going to eat, but it also helps me stay on my financial goals, my health goals, and so much more. So I'm going to share with you today my simple system. But before we get to that, if you've not yet hit subscribe, make sure that you do so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And if you've already subscribed, please share this over onto Facebook so your other working mom friends can get these tips as well. Now, what I'm going to share with you today and the worksheets that I share are all found inside of our Life Balance membership. You can learn more by clicking on the link down below or going to lifebalancemembership.com. Inside Life Balance membership, I teach you the simple life balance system that you can use for the most amazing 90 days of your life to really learn the systems, monthly, weekly, daily planning to help you reach goals in everything that God has called you to. Now, let me first just start off by saying I am not very good when it comes to cooking, meal prepping, meal planning, all of that kind of stuff is very foreign to me. And I have tried so many different things to make it easier throughout the years. And what I'm going to share with you today is kind of the boiled down version of all of that. I'm sharing with you exactly what it is that I do and that works well for me, for someone who nothing really works well for when it comes to this kind of a system. But this has been tried and true for me for over a year in our family, and so far so good. So we will just leave it with that. So in today's video, there's really two main things that we're going to be talking about. Number one is ordering your groceries or getting your groceries, and number two are planning your meals, what it is that you're going to be doing with those groceries once they come into your house. Now, if you're like me, I can plan meals all day long for dinner, lunch, breakfast, snacks, everything else, but I'm not the only one who lives in here. And sometimes my kids or my husband might be looking for something different than maybe what I have planned to eat. And so there might be ingredients that they are wanting that I didn't even think about because they're eating something completely different than me or what I thought that they were wanting to eat for that week, which is great because I want them to be independent and not relying on me to tell them exactly what to put in their mouth. They need to learn to be able to feed themselves, cook for themselves, and all those things, right? So we do have a list on our refrigerator door that they can put things on the grocery shopping list that we need. So if they use the last of the milk, they write milk on the list. If they want a certain something for some certain something that they want to make, then they have to put that on the list. It's something that we all work together as part of the family to make sure that we always have the things that we need and we don't run out. So that is step number one, is having a system for those kind of everyday necessities. As you run out, you can put it on the list. Next is this little tool here. Now, you're not going to be able to see it probably very well, but it is something that you can see. It goes right inside of my disc notebook, and I redo this list every season because it is starting to be fall. This is my fresh new sheets that will be going into my disc system because let's face it, there are different things that I like to eat in summertime than in the wintertime or in fall or spring. So every season I get a new one of this list. Now, this is our master food eating list. So these are things that we all love to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, that are kind of like our steady go-tos. You know, like we usually will have a taco night or a burrito night, or our family, we really love to do things like Cobb salad. There are certain things that we find that we eat over and over again. Now that it's not summertime, some of our favorite casserole dishes will start to make their way into circulation, but all of those things go on this master list because sometimes my brain is just empty and I think, what do I want to make for dinner this week? No clue. What do we even like to eat? I don't know. So this list is my go-to list to say, what am I going to be making this week given our time, our energy, what we already have in the house, everything else that's going on, what fits into our week. So the meal planning needs to fit into our schedule and what we already have going on. Now, when you already have those two systems, your main grocery shopping list, and then your list of food that you like to cook, you like to eat, then you can start really planning for your week. These are the questions that you're gonna wanna ask yourself. Number one, this week, what meals do you need to plan? And who do you need to be planning for? Now, the reason why this is an important question is, let's say, for example, your kids are gonna be out doing sporting events, or your husband's gonna be working late and he's gonna kind of catch his own dinner. There are certain nights that you might not need to be cooking for everybody, or you might not need to be even cooking for anybody, because you might decide this night is gonna be crazy and we're just gonna get dinner while we're out running around. Or maybe your kids are gonna be leaving early to school on a particular morning and they plan on getting breakfast while they're out. Or you might be leaving early and you're getting breakfast while you're out. Or if your kids are off at school and they do hot lunch, then you don't need to worry about them for lunch. But this is where you really get to decide who it is that you're feeding and how often you're feeding them. How many breakfasts, how many lunch, how many dinners, how many snacks do you need to really be preparing for the week when you're thinking about your grocery shopping? Next comes one of the most important questions that's gonna save you money. Now that you know how many breakfast, lunch, dinners, and snacks you need to be having for the week and who it is that's gonna be for, then you can start looking through your pantry and comparing it to your meal list to see what ingredients you already have on hand. Are there things on this list that require no grocery shopping and they fit into your scheduled time? Then bingo, that is what you could be making that particular week on that particular day. And it's gonna save you a ton of money, because now you don't have to go and buy ingredients for something completely different that's on your list. Next question, what sounds good? You might have all of the ingredients for some things, but you're like, that just doesn't necessarily sound good this week. Or there might be one particular dish that you're craving, but you don't have everything for, and maybe you just wanna make an exception and buy some of those ingredients so that you have that to make. Now, typically, if something is on sale, so for example, our family really likes white sauce chicken enchiladas, that requires green chilies. If the canned green chilies are on sale, I'm gonna buy more of them, because then I can throw them in my pantry and it's more likely to make this list. And that's one of my favorite things to eat. So if it's already have all the ingredients, it's gonna make the list for sure. And lastly, do you wanna try something new? Most of the time, the things that we're gonna have on this list are things that we could probably make with our eyes closed. Super, super simple. We eat it all the time. But you might be wanting to expand your horizons. So decide how many nights a week you wanna try something new. Now for me, because I don't really like to cook all that too much, I try not to do more than one new recipe a week, because it just gets too stressful. And sometimes I don't even do one new recipe, because with our schedule, we already have enough things figured out, or what we already have groceries for, the things that sound good. There's no need to pressure yourself to take on more than you really need to. So once I've asked myself those questions, then I go back to my weekly spread inside my Life Balance Planner and I list out what it is that we're gonna be having for our meals throughout the week. It's a nice visual reminder, so when it comes to Wednesday, I know and I can remember what it is that I am making for dinner that particular night. Now, when it comes to getting the groceries in the house, there are some things that I have found that make things so much easier. Number one is Instacart. Now, if you're not yet an Instacart user, you can use my link down below and save yourself some money. But Instacart is by far my friend. Now, I use Instacart for regular grocery stores and Costco. So I don't know about you, but I get so stressed out going to Costco. It's just, maybe it's because I'm short and the carts are so big. I don't know, but it just stresses me out beyond. So I will do my Costco shopping like once a month to get all of the staples and everything that we need, but it all comes through Instacart. So it just arrives at my door. Now I'll do my regular grocery shopping every single week. Now the reason I don't do Costco more often is, one, I don't need that much stuff from Costco in order to have it every single week, but their delivery charge is a little bit more when it comes from Costco. So I just do that one once a month. But my regular grocery store, I will do that every single week. Now the exception to those two are our meats. When I am doing Instacart and I get meat, I don't get to pick out my own meat. And so I don't know exactly what it's gonna look like, the quality it's gonna be, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. And I've gotten some bad cuts of meat in the past. And so I decided to go with ButcherBox, because not only am I gonna get really good quality meat, like better than I can really get at the grocery store, it saves me a ton of money as well. And then I just don't even have to worry about it. And so if you wanna try ButcherBox, again, you can click the link down below, save yourself some money on that as well. So between Instacart and ButcherBox, I don't really go grocery shopping at all. That is one of the things that I delegate and have someone else do for me, because we can't do everything. And we always need to find those things that make life easier. And that definitely makes life easier for me. Now, once the groceries have come in, I immediately deal with fruits and vegetables. Wash them, chop them, do whatever needs to be done with them. I find if I don't do that, they rot. And it doesn't take that much time. Sometimes we tell ourselves that it takes a lot more time than it actually does. And it really doesn't. I'll also take the meat out of the freezer that needs to be defrosted for the different meals for the week and really prep anything that I can ahead of time. For example, my son really loves oatmeal for breakfast, so I'll make a huge batch of oatmeal to put in the fridge that I can warm up every single morning to make sure he has everything he needs for a healthy breakfast. And it's that simple. I don't do a lot of pre-cooking because sometimes it doesn't taste as good and it takes a lot of time and it makes me really tired. So I don't do a whole lot of pre-cooking, but I will chop my veggies if I can in advance, defrost the meat, get everything together as much as possible so everything is good to go. Now this is just part of my weekly prep process. When you think about weekly prep, sometimes that's all we think about is our food prep, but there's so much more that go into helping you have a successful week. So I hope you check out the playlist that is featured on your screen. I don't know if it's going to be here or if it's going to be here, but I hope you check it out because it has all of our videos as it relates to weekly planning. And make sure you check out our app. Inside the app, you can find the free course, Weekly Success Planning, and all of the tools help you get the job done. So until next time, keep building a life that rocks. Bye.